It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Detroit Pistons. And guys, for the Pistons, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. Fellas, it seems like so much goes into being successful at the professional level. I want to ask a more.
And a great look at Chicago's front yard, Grant Park, and the tall towers of downtown. We're broadcasting from Chicago as the Bulls get ready to take the hardwood here at the United Center. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, Aaron Brooks. He won't be an option for them.
Kevin, I've got to admit, I was caught off guard by this trade. I mean, he played such a big part for him. He was the last guy I expected them to move.
Yeah, but if you're going to make a move, this is when you want to do it, when a guy has basically lifted his ceiling. And so now it creates some other opportunities for some of your younger players. We'll just have to see how that transition plays out and how those new pieces fit.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Pistons, Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. Noah is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Morris in at the 3 slot.
And the Pistons were a better team last season than they were in 2014. I mean, they still ended up bottom in the Central Division, but most of it was because of how strong the Central really was last season.
Meeks, good. Detroit on D, 4-point game. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Here's Jennings, following the score by Derrick Rose. Jennings passes to Noah. Pistons passing it around. Noah with a screen for Jennings. Misfires after coming off the pick.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Morris with the bucket.
A lot of times in the first quarter, it'll dictate how big a role a player has later on.
Outside Rose, double team on Rose. Outside Butler. Here's the floater. Shot clock at 5. Here's Gasol. Second shot opportunity. It's blocked. Kicks it to Meeks. Here's Jennings, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Hey guys, Brandon Jennings, some people love his chaotic game, some can't stand it. One of the more polarizing talents in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever shoot for an efficient percentage or become a lockdown defender, Kevin. He's an offensive catalyst. He pushes the action and he'll go on scoring binges, but I think he does more good than bad with his style of play.
And Jennings drops them both.
And talking about Brandon Jennings, he has an endless bag of tricks, keeping the ball literally on a string, makes behind the back, no look, and off the backboard passes few players would even try. That unpredictability, though, can make him difficult to check and often forces defenders into positions from which they can't recover.
Here's Morris. After Pau Gasol's bucket, it's back to Jennings. Noah with a screen on Rose. The drive by Jennings. Noah wide open. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Drummond a screen. Gasol kicks to Butler. Rose against Jennings. The shot will not go. And it's Detroit the other way.
You know, Brandon Jennings is that rare type of difference maker, a guy who can jumpstart your offense without turning the ball over. That's a valuable asset when you're trying to line up the W.
Now here's Jennings. He had 25 points in the win against Boston.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Here's Rose. The feed to Gasol. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thank you, Kevin. A bit ago, Stan Van Gundy and I were able to chat. One player he doesn't want to overlook is Pau Gasol. He said Pau has that hook shot that is nearly impossible to guard, and that most of their defense on Pau will be centered around denying him the ball and forcing him to catch it away from the basket. We'll see if they can execute that plan, guys.
And as always, Doris, thank you.
And you look at Joakim Noah, I mean, one of those hybrid talents. As a center, he gives you the rebounding, the shot blocking you want, but then he also has tremendous passing skills and instincts and the energy of a mountain lion.
Now here's Butler. Playing Memphis, he was nearly unstoppable. Jennings with the ball. Noah with a screen on Rose. Here's Jennings. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Gotta keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
How about the athleticism on display defensively in that win?
Yeah, it was reflected in their shot block total, Greg. I mean, they were very disruptive, which I think is a combination of hustle and muscle.
And really, the Bulls weathered a lot of injuries last season and still had a good showing in the East. Came away with the 3 seed when many thought they would sink down after missing so many games from key players.
And the Bulls did end up with the 3rd seed in the East. 33 of their 50 wins last year, Clark, coming in the Eastern Conference.
But it wasn't an even distribution of those wins for the Bulls. Against their own division in the Southeast, they played 500 basketball. They got their good in-conference record from feasting on the Atlantic teams, taking 16 wins in 18 games against that division.
Just 4 to shoot. Fires, high post. Again, Jennings missing.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
Here's Rose. And again, no good by Chicago. The Pistons leading. Jennings drives in. Noah. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Jennings has got 4 assists in the game.
What a passing display he has put on here tonight.
Yeah, he's spoiling us, Greg. I mean, there's just another fantastic dime drop right there. That one certainly should make the highlight reel. Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Noah with a screen on Rose. Jennings drives in. He used that pick to perfection.
It took him a while, but he finally gets one to fall.
For Chicago, they've gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. The kick out to right. The 3. Shot is off. And the Pistons now going the other way. Now here's Jennings. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
Rose attacking. Looks good. Is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
just no resistance on the interior.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Their last encounter was in Detroit.
Yeah, and what a gut-wrencher it was for them last time they met. Ended up on the losing side in that one.
And, Greg, typically there's one statistic that jumps out at you when you're looking at what decided the game. And in that one, it was all about the rebounding battle.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Splitters checked in for Andre Drummond. Gibson comes in for Pau Gasol. J.R. Smith's checked in for Darrell Wright. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Derrick Rose.
And, guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a two-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
Chicago making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Tolliver's checked in. Now, here's Clarkson. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. Mirotic sets the screen for Smith. Pass to Mirotic. Joakim Noah grabs the miss. On the topic of Caldwell-Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
Here's Gibson after the made shot from Joakim Noah. Smith dishes to Clarkson. Back to Smith. Rebound, Detroit.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 22-point game against Boston. Noah kicks to Jackson. There's a good screen. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's Smith. An 11-point game for him in the win against Memphis. And that good.
Good look, and he splashes home the three.
Pistons leading by 5. Here's Jackson. To the paint. Tolliver with the bucket.
And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Smith the pass to Gibson. It's rebounded by Noah. Noah's got his 4th rebound in this one. Jackson kicks to Johnson. The dish to Caldwell-Pope. Smith with the defensive effort.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
He kicks to Mirotic, takes the 3. Rebounded by Jackson.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Feeds it to Caldwell-Pope. Johnson outside. Noah dishes to Jackson. Tolliver down low. Splitter covering, and he gets it to go. And it's a 9-point Detroit lead.
You know, a team's rebounding is one of the great measures of its energy, and theirs has been terrific in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've brought it in terms of having another level of intensity right from the tip.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
10 games on the Bulls schedule, Kevin, this is how they stack up. First in field goal percentage, first in fewest turnovers a game. And they have definitely learned the finer points of transition basketball. I mean, they own the most fast break points in the NBA.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another.
Now here's Splitter. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
The offensive rebound. Tolliver the pass to Noah. The lead pushed to double digits. Noah's got 9 points.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Now, here is Mirotic. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season, led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game.
Here's Smith following the basket by Stanley Johnson. 1:09 left in the first quarter. Now, here's Clarkson, guarded by Jackson. They grab their own miss. Splitter, that's good.
The defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Noah with a screen for Jackson. Pass to Noah. Terrific design on the big play, and he lays it in. Noah's got 11 points.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Yeah, you've got to turn up the dial on the intensity at the defensive end if you're them. I mean, it's still early, but I agree with you.
He was all alone on that one. 6 points for Smith.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
They set the pick. The drive by Jackson. Can't make good off the screen.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Left side, Gibson. Passes it to Splitter. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Joakim Noah. The Bulls have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
This season, in general, has not been kind to them at the free throw line. Only about 71%.
Guys, strictly in terms of their percentage, their free throw shooting has deteriorated a considerable amount since last season.
He's off on the second. And so the first quarter is in the books. Pistons lead by 9. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Check it out.
And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team.
I feel like we're the hungriest team in the NBA. That's a great feeling to be able to say that. Like, whether we shoot the ball well or don't shoot the ball well, win or lose, we know that we're going out there every night, giving everything we got with no regrets.
You know, I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
It's been about the effort. Love the hustle they've shown here in the first.
Yeah, it's due to their hustle, as you said, Greg, and it's showing up on the scoreboard, too.
And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Johnson is out there with Marcus Morris. And there's Etuan Moore. And there's Jackson. And it's Ilyasova in at the center position. Now here's Moore. Last game he had 10 points. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Morris. Outside for Jackson. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Pistons.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
And it doesn't look like they'll be giving up on any plays tonight either. Their offensive rebounding has also been equally as impressive.
And that one falls for Jackson. Reggie Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
White, he's checked in for the Bulls. Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Detroit. Dishes it to Johnson. Trying to find Ilyasova and gets it to him. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Bulls trail by 10.
And if you go back, remember Jackson struggled with the Pistons last year as well. So the team went on a losing streak as soon as he got there.
And that one's good.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here's Johnson, 11 feet out, and he hits it. And the Pistons lead by 10.
And Jackson will look for a fresh start this season. I mean, hard to play with all the drama and questions going in your head about pending free agency.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, an understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, take it himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
Good on both.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
And that one's good.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Rose. 12 points for him. And stolen by Jennings. And here we go. Fast break. Jennings has got it. Meeks can't hit. As I said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement. And Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assist and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play. They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Chicago calls timeout.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Caldwell Pope, who's checked in for Detroit. And so it's Detroit with the ball. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. Jennings drives in. Here's Ilyasova. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Ilyasova's got 4 points now in the quarter. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions, finally transferred to a major college, and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Shot clock at 2. Meeks can't hit. Bulls trail by 7. Butler kicks to right. Lets it go with a 3. Morris with the rebound. Detroit's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's Caldwell Pope, defended by Butler. Outside Jennings. Ilyasova, a screen on Drummond. All alone. That's good from Ilyasova on the assist from Brandon Jennings.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Rose dishes to Butler. Offside Gasol. It's Chicago with another bucket.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Now here's Jennings. Meeks passes to Jennings. Ilyasova sets a screen for Jennings. The pass to Meeks. Out to the right wing. Here's Morris. They shoot again, and that's 2 points on the layup. Morris has got 4 points in the quarter.
He got a great read of where that miss was going. That allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And the wide open shot from Rose. The Bulls keep it alive. Drummond. And another shot. It's good, and the Pistons lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from Pau Gasol.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
Well, we've got a second, so we'll bring up a list of shooting guards that have been red hot at the free throw line over the past month. And you look at Meeks, 4th in the league, and as consistent as they come at the free throw line.
We've gotten used to seeing a lot of terrific free throw shooters from the two-guard ranks, but even so, it shouldn't take away from what these players have been able to do up there.
Yeah, I don't care what their position is, guys. I mean, they deserve a bunch of credit for those numbers. Each one of them is just so clutch at the foul line.
Latrey. Chicago grabs the miss. Gasol's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Now Jennings. Ilyasova is screen on Butler and stolen by Drummond. Inside. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Rose.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Now here's Jennings. There's the pick. He feeds it to Meeks. Shot clock at 6. Morris a screen. Here's Caldwell Pope. Hits the 3-point bomb. Caldwell Pope's got 5 points so far.
Defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Chicago calls timeout.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Something for us right now. Doris?
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. The strategy included running the offense through Noah. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Guys, they're clearly hoping those changes have an effect even before this game makes it to halftime. Kevin?
All right, Doris, thank you very much. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls, Clark, had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, two-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
That's good from Gibson.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA, already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Smith checked in for Jimmy Butler. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Jackson, he's checked in for Brandon Jennings. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Here's Jackson, the Bulls getting the bucket. He dishes it to Tolliver. Back to Jackson. Here's the screen. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Now, here's Clarkson. Screen by Smith. Splitter with a screen on Jackson. Here's Clarkson. Here's Splitter. And it's Chicago scoring again.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Jackson. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. The Pistons working the ball around now. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's an impressive spin move there, Kevin. I wasn't expecting him to show handles like that.
J.R. Smith on the wing. There's a good screen. Elbow shot. Here's Splitter. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Detroit leading by 5. Outside Jackson. Kicks it to Meeks. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 4 assists now tonight.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Gibson. 8 points his last outing. Splitter sets a screen. Clarkson kicks to Splitter. Lets it fly. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down to 5 points. That time the bucket coming from Smith. Detroit's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Noah with a screen for Jackson. Wants to get it off to Noah and does. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And last year, not exactly up to Noah's lofty standards. Way down in field goal percentage and free throw percentages compared to the season before, but he did not play completely healthy all of last year either.
A little dinged up, missed 13 games more than he had the season prior, and also the minutes dropped as well. And you could just see him laboring at times on the floor, clearly affected by those injuries.
Here's Jackson. J.R. Smith making his last shot. Jackson drives in. Gibson with the steal. It's good, and the Pistons lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Smith.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Now here's Jackson. And there's the feed to Moore. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And shot on the way. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Splitters got 3 rebounds now in this one. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Shots good by Gibson.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim.
Now, here's Clarkson. The shot from the low post is good. Clarkson's got 4 this quarter.
Look at the space he had on that one, though. There's an obvious speed mismatch between the two.
Noah the screen. They need this. It's Jackson with the drive, and they're able to recover. Johnson dishes to Noah. Here's Jackson. Jackson can't get that one to fall.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
Moore. No good. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Derrick Rose taking care of business in this one. He had 14 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and asserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
I like the way they rebounded. They devoted a lot of energy down low, fighting for each other on the boards, and they helped keep this game tight. If they can continue to do that, it could easily be the factor that swings the game in their favor.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
Excellent game we've seen from Derrick Rose. He's got 14 points, and he's created a lot of chances for his teammates also.
And Clark, some of those assists that he's got today have been just electric.
Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Jarrell Wright is out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. Now, here's Butler. Rose, no good.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Here's Morris. Can't get it to go. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Outside Rose. Outside Gasol. Butler from outside. Detroit with the rebound. Outside Jennings. They set the pick. Pass to Ilyasova. Tries it from 19. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got his 9th assist in the game now. Chicago has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And here is Wright. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Outside Gasol. Rose passes to Drummond. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That's on Joakim Noah. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
And the second free throw, good.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
It's stolen by Rose. In transition, here come the Bulls. And that one's good. And that's now 11 points for Jimmy Butler.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
They double him with Butler. And Ilyasova kicks to Morris. Noah the screen. Jennings dishes to Noah. Shot clock at 6. He kicks it to Morris. Deep 2 from Jennings. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
The dish to Drummond. Outside Gasol. Well, we're into the third quarter. Just over 2.5 minutes played. Off on the layup.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
Doris Burke has for us.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He touched on his desire to see them make heavy use of the pick and roll for the rest of the game. Keep setting those screens, fellas. Those were his exact words. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Now here's Jennings. Feeds to Ilyasova. Noah cleans up the mess with the savage putback flush.
This is just great anticipation. The putback jam.
Oh, he had some big-time intentions right there.
And those plays, guys, will give the entire team a boost. And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Here's Ilyasova. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got 10 assists here tonight. So active. Chicago calls timeout.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, I like this timeout, Greg. I think it's a good one because looks like they need a minute to talk things through here.
Or so games, he has been remarkable, averaging about 16 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists. And what sets him apart is his rebounding. And as you can see, he's been in peak form.
This last stretch, unbelievable force going to the glass, and it's been reflected on the stat sheet.
Now here's Rose. 14 points for him. Here's Gasol. Again, Chicago.
And that's a nice possession. Did a good job to get that open shot.
Pistons trailed by 5. Jennings with the ball. Ilyasova screen on Rose. From past the arc. That's good from Ilyasova on the assist by Jennings. Jennings has got assist number 11 for him here tonight. The Bulls have gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Jennings against Rose. To the inside. Gasol lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Gasol's got 16 points.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
You're right on target there, Greg. Of the last 10 points they've allowed, 8 have come from in close.
Now here's Jennings. Pass to Ilyasova. To the paint. Noah kicks to Meeks. No good on the triple. The Bulls leading by 4.
Yeah, the Pistons ended last season with a record of 32-50. They played decently enough against the rest of the East and had 23 of their 32 wins against the Eastern Conference. You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh no, oh yeah shots.
Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Rose. In transition, here come the Bulls. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. These players have been vacuums on the boards recently, leading the league in rebounding the past month. Second, Joakim Noah. And, of course, Andre Drummond.
What a rebounding show these two have put on. That's exactly the kind of effort you like to see from your bigs.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And Detroit last season against the East played well for stretches. They couldn't find that consistency to climb the ladder in the East.
And they had a lot of changes going on, tons of transition for this group. But let's face it, they did play well down the stretch, a lot of wins against playoff teams from the East, and went 500 against Eastern playoff teams in their final 10 matchups.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
Now here's Jennings. Pass to Morris. It's Drummond with the rebound.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Butler with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. They get it again, and it's Drummond with the jam.
And just another example, Kevin, of how they built this lead, just outworking.
Greg, that was definitely an effort play right there. You talk about that all the time, fighting to get proper position, then slamming home the putback.
Yep, and if they can maintain this energy level, their lead will be safe. And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over.
Rose with the double team. Dishes it to Caldwell Pope. To stop the drought. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Caldwell Pope's got his third basket of the night. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season. Won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Really picking up his production in his fourth season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often. A winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Splitters checked in for Andre Drummond. Gibson comes in for Pau Gasol. J.R. Smith's checked in for Wright, and it's Jordan Clarkson in for Derrick Rose. And they're able to recover. Morris a screen. Jackson passes to Morris. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team in the way they approach the game.
Now here's Johnson. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Ilyasova sets a screen for Morris. Knocks down the three ball. Morris has got 10.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
To the middle, here's Ilyasova, and it's blocked. Now, here's Clarkson. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. Outside Butler. Second chance shot, and Splitter with the layup. 7 points in the game. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Chicago.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
And Detroit has possession after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Butler dishes to Clarkson. No good on the three. Pistons trail by 11. Outside Jackson. The pass to Morris. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two.
Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year, eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player. And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Splitter, and he goes in for the dunk.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
Greg, as you just said, the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
4 on the clock. Deflects the pass, and stolen by Ilyasova. 1:46 left to play in the third. Outside Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. No good. So the Bulls will take it the other way. And here comes Smith leading the fast break. That drops. Smith's got the lead up to 12 now for Chicago.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Gibson with the screen on Jackson. Screen by Smith. Mirotic has a wide open look. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Mirotic has got himself on the board with 3 there. Pistons trail by 13. There's the pick. Moore against Smith. And it's Moore penetrating. Offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Johnson. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Moore as a screen. The feed to Moore. Johnson kicks to Jackson. Moore right side. The 3. And Splitter pulls it down. Splitter's got 7 rebounds in the game. Smith the pass to Splitter. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Splitter's got 11.
The shooting percentage continues to elevate here in the second half.
Well, as a group, they've been harmonic since the break. In sync. Good team basketball, resulting in high-quality shots.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. The Bulls leading by 15, and Detroit looking at who they've got. Ilyasova out there with Noah. Then there's Jennings. Then it's Johnson, and it's Moore in at the 2. Now here's Jennings. Noah the screen. They double him with Drummond. Noah kicks to Moore. Beyond the arc. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Rose up on top. He's guarded by Jennings. A wide open look here for Wright. No good on the triple. And here comes Moore leading the fast break. Ilyasova up top. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Moore inside. Working on Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Ilyasova. It's all in by the Bulls.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Rose kicks to Gasol. An even 3-on-3 break. Moore with the bucket.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Now here's Rose. Puts it up from 12. Score the basket. His 8th. 8 for 13 from the floor.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Noah with a screen on Rose. And it's Moore penetrating. He feeds it to Noah. From deep, Johnson goes back up. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
What a performance from Joakim Noah here. He's got 14 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
at the line for 2. And the first one at the line is good. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Ejuan Moore. Noah hits them both. Here's Rose. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. He dishes it to Butler. Rose passes to Drummond. And that one's good. Drummond's got 9 points now in just the second half.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
Ilyasova against Gasol. Now Jennings. And here's Ilyasova outside. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the three.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Gasol dishes to Drummond. Gasol is screened, and Drummond kicks to Butler. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Rose, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
And how about the role reversal there? I mean, slamming it down right in the face of the big fella.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Here is Jennings. The Bulls getting the bucket. Noah with a screen on Butler. It's Jennings with the drive. Rebound by the Bulls.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Top of the key, Ilyasova. Great open look there. Ilyasova's got 5 points in the quarter. And here's Rose. Outside Gasol. They set the screen. The shot by Butler, nobody around. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Just 3 to shoot. Ilyasova inside the line. Can't hit. Gasol with the defensive effort. Chicago leading by 16. And it's Wright missing.
Well, he's gone without a field goal. And that certainly is below par for him. His team has still found a way to get it done.
It's Jennings with the drive. Stolen by Rose. Here's Butler. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Some fantastic numbers here for Butler. He has 9 rebounds, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
2 shots. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Detroit. And so Butler nails both of them. Pistons trail by 18. They set the pick. Caldwell-Pope passes to Ilyasova. Soft touch off the glass. Ilyasova's got 16 here in the second half.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Rose dishes to Gasol. Great defense that time from Noah.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Now here's Jennings to the inside and finished off by Noah.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Outside Rose. Gasol on the high post. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. And that's 20 points for Pau Gasol.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Ilyasova is screen on Rose. To the paint. The 11-footer. Here's Noah. And it's sent back by Drummond. Pistons passing it around. Noah with a screen for Jennings. Rose with the double team. Goes up off the pick. And Noah with the slam.
Boy, you got to love that nice assist by Jennings.
The Bulls leading by 14. Gasol inside, covered by Noah. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. It's Jennings with the drive. Ilyasova sets a screen for Jennings. Kicks to Ilyasova. Rejected by Gasol. Right outside. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And the Bulls lead by 16.
And they've looked terrific in transition today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Boy, it certainly has. I mean, they've done a really good job recognizing anytime they've had the numbers advantage, and then they've taken advantage. We've seen it time and time again here.
Really left alone that time.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Pass to Drummond. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
I don't think you can say enough about the quarter he's having. Every one of his attempts has gone down.
Jennings kicks to Caldwell Pope. It's back to Jennings. Rebound by the Bulls. Drummond's got 6 rebounds in the game. Checked in for Butler. Marcus Morris is checked in for Detroit. Reggie Jackson comes in for Brandon Jennings. On defense, the Pistons. Wright sets a screen. And Drummond kicks to Smith. Shot off the pick. Rebounded by the Pistons. Ilyasova's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Jackson with it. Now Smith defending. Here's Noah. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. The Bulls leading by 15. Smith on the wing. 3-pointer. Again, the miss by Smith. Jackson with it. Gasol with the steal. And it's Smith penetrating. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And it's not often that one of your enforcers is also one of your best 3-point shooters, but such is the case with J.R. Smith. Everywhere he's gone, he's played both roles, sometimes to the team's benefit, but others to its detriment.
The drive by Jackson. Detroit, no good that time either.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, it really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
And it's Drummond missing. Greg, on the topic of Smith, you never know what his personality is going to bring to the game, or Clark, even the moment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Moment to moment, it's an adventure. When the good JR is rolling, he's knocking down threes, playing solid D, creating havoc for the opponent. Bad JR, is taking and missing wild shots, going to sleep on defense, and causing problems for his own team.
Yeah.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Back to Rose. Knocked loose. Jackson drives in. Here's Morris. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
The Bulls leading by 13. Inside. Here's Rose. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, the 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Chicago calls timeout. They're in front by 14. There's 1:38 left here in the fourth quarter. Smith kicks to right. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. There's the screen. Screen by Smith. Rose against Jackson. And it's Rose penetrating. Terrific design on the big play. And he lays it in. Rose has got 25 points in the game.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Bulls.
Fewer miscues made the difference, Clark.
Yeah, I thought the fact they minimized their turnovers was huge. It was a terrific all-around effort.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And by making sharp in-game adjustments, they've really taken control of this season series, guys. This win tonight will move their record to 2-0 with 2 left to play against the Pistons.
And a great team effort, but still, what an individual performance for Derrick Rose. You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
Here's Jackson following the score by Derrick Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Jackson misses. Chicago's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Rose against Jackson. Rose can't hit.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Now here's Jackson. He kicks to Meeks. Back to Jackson. Fires, high post. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. Guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
Sure can, because they've earned the win.
Now here's Rose. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Derrick, congratulations on a great win. What was the major thing that turned this deficit around for you guys?
Just playing defense. Our defense turned into offense, and it worked out for us tonight. We definitely don't want to be in that situation, but we just fall our way back into the game.
Derrick, thank you. Usually it starts with the defense for this team, Kevin.
All right.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game. Derrick Rose, double figures in both points and assists for the double-double that led the way tonight. He was their motor offensively and really got the team fired up.
The thing that has to jump out at you is all of those points in the paint. He found every gap in the defense that he could, and he never stopped attacking the basket. If the D was expecting him to just hang out on the perimeter, they were wrong.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports Group, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.